Hey, what's going on, guys? Another big day. Not really big day, but it's pretty dead in the news at the moment. But this is my new channel. I don't know. This is just gonna be a hobby I do. It's just really important that we just start talking, because what's going on in the past month, couple months, this year. We didn't vote for this. We didn't um, we voted for the quite opposite, and this is not this world is just going down the pipe, and we got to call it out. That's just the way it is. And that's what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to just talk about the issues, talk about the problems, and I mean, we got to make our voices heard because time's running out. If you guys didn't notice, being hunted in the streets, being, these people on the other side of the aisle, they don't care about us. They hate themselves for being either white. They apologize for being white, being Christian, and it's really sad to see millions and millions of people fall for, because of poor information, corrupt information, corrupt institutions. And we're just going to call everything out because fuck all of everything that's going on. You guys all deserve better, us Christian Americans. And this is not what we signed up for. We never had a chance. The day we were born, our country was already being controlled by outside forces, and it's just, it sucks to see. I know everyone's really upset, really pissed off. I've been pissed off since 2018, 2019. I've started seeing this a lot. I mean, actually back in 2017, just to give you a little background, I was like 13, 14, I think. Checks out, I think 14, 15. And I just started seeing everything for what it was. In 2015, when Trump started his run, his America First run, it started really wholesome. And I think over time it's been corrupt beyond belief, beyond what we all imagined it would be. I've just been lazy. I should have probably picked up a microphone a long time ago and said my piece, but I never did. And I regret that. I do. The world is changing all the time, and we cannot sit idly by anymore. I believe that. I endorse anyone that has a voice. Please just speak up. Let's flood the internet with our message and what we want as an American people. We want our sovereignty back. We want our independence. We want our freedoms. And we've lost those. We've lost a lot, and it's just keeps on coming, and you're just going to keep losing and losing and losing more and more of your rights to the corrupt, to the elites. And there is a particular group that I am pointing fingers at. They know who they are. They know who they are. And they are going to have a rude awakening when we, as an American people, start putting our foot down and start telling it how it is and how it should be. And they're worried now. Let's give it 10 years and let's have the circulation of ideas go through the pipe a little bit, and see how it goes for them, because their influence over our country from another foreign entity across the pond, it's gonna end. It needs to end, because we are losing We are losing so much of our sovereignty and our wealth. Our generations are being destroyed. Utterly, we're being bottomed out. We're being taken advantage of for our goodwill. And no one's sticking up for us. We have to stick up for ourselves. This is not how it works. This is how the world is. You have to stick up for your own right, your own people. And we have been lazy as a people, as a society, as white Christians, and we have grown used to having everything be comfort. Everything's being brought to us. We're not going out and doing the work. You have to have a job. You need to work. You need to feel suffrage. You need to feel rewarded by the end of the day when you go to bed. And people are not used to that anymore. People are not, my generation and the generations that are going to come after me, until the world goes ablaze. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. It goes ablaze, and things are going to get even rockier and rockier as these years go by. Right now we have a very small gap, small window of opportunity where the restrictions and the censorship on our side, at least, is being a little bit lifted because of our political leaning has won out at the moment. But let's say the Democrats take power and they just go have a whole all-out war on our conservative beliefs, our conservative movement that we have. And I'm very far right. I'll be the first to admit it. And I know the GOP is a bad party, and I thoroughly believe that the GOP is a very Israel, corrupt from the core. But Nick Fuentes, he puts it best. He's on the front line, obviously, and a lot of us get our information through him now. And that's not a bad thing, but that's just what's telling the elites that are in our society that are not fully aligned. Let's just say that they're not aligned really with American interests, because they're bottoming out, hollowing out our classes, our middle, lower, even our upper middle class. They're fucking hollowing out our wealth and our generations and our people by sending us over there, fighting in their wars, getting involved in their politics over in the Middle East for their protection, for their sovereignty, while they have all of their gangsters, have all their freaking dual loyalty people on the other end of the world in our cities, with all the power, with all the voice, all the money, and they have strong influence, and they become good friends with these people in our politics, and that's how they get what they want. And I mean, look at the war in the Middle East, for example. That war should have been ended a long time ago. It's not an elite, I'd say reservist, but still pretty well trained army, the IDF, compared to a band of couple thousand, Muslim radicals. And the first to say, I do not care what happens in that war. But if Israel wins, it's another step in a complete catastrophe in the Middle East. If it's left alone, then, at least those people can stay in their homeland. I know it's destroyed beyond belief, and it's destroyed. It's just destroyed. It's just gone. There's nothing left. they're all living in rubble, and they didn't do it to themselves, but I think it's really unfair what is just going on over there. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is it's another domino on to another. So if Gaza falls, then it'll be the West Bank, and then from there they want war between us, them, and Iran to happen, and that's why like Iraq was the first to go. Iraq had to go because of Saddam. He was the biggest threat because he was the border country with Israel, and Syria was there too. And I think it was like Lebanon, not pacified either. But what they're doing they're doing a genocide in every sense of the word, but they don't want to admit that, and our government is just on standby for whatever they want us to do. And we should be calling the shots. That war should have ended a long time ago. If it was just about the hostages, they would have done a hostage exchange like they've done in the past. But that puts them in political turmoil. It just doesn't look good on them, and that sets them back on the world stage. And I don't think they were going to go for that. So they went ahead and did the war, and they invaded, and see what's going on now is just criminal. Absolutely criminal. I don't like either side. They're both heretics in my eyes. But one is definitely more supremely powerful over our country than the other. Now, also, I'll say that this is obviously all common knowledge. I'm just kind of reiterating what's going on, but I will say that all these wars in the Middle East has caused the Muslim migration from the Middle East and North Africa into our allies in Europe and Canada, Australia, and here. You know, there's that whole debate between Matt Walsh and Nick Fuentes, and he's all Matt Walsh is all complaining, fucking Dearborn. Like, no one's even heard of that place. What? Dearborn. What? Like, who cares about Dearborn, Michigan, for real? when our biggest institutions in our country are all agents of Mossad and agents for Israel, and they have American citizenship. Don't get me wrong, they have American citizenship, and it would be unprecedented if we had these people also go home. But what should we do? They should go home. And they should go home because because they're foreign. They are, in every sense of the word, foreign dictators in our government, in our financial institutions, in our media, in our now they're creeping in, or no, not creeping. They have conquered the social media space as well, not just old media. But social media and entertainment media, academia is another one with all the Ivy Leagues and just regular colleges in general. It's just conquered. We're just straight up conquered by the Israeli presence, and it's just, look where we're going. Look where we're at. We have a debt that just never seems to go down. We have a job market freeze. The stocks are never predictable anymore. The stock market's just, we don't have no idea. What else? I mean, just the endless wars in the Middle East and dumping money into Israel and not just Israel, but into all the countries around them. It's either shut up money for the Arab allies. It's money directly to Israel and their intermediate allies in the region, or it's supply, like we're paying for the supplies of medicine, weapons. It goes on and on. Just comfort things in general, like clothing, blankets. Construction wise, they're bringing in wood and I don't know, just whatever you can think of, we're paying for it. And on top of that, we're also just wasting time in government on the region in general when we have other priorities to get to. And for some reason, we're the ones that are like, we're obsessed with Israel. We're obsessed with Israel. Israel's tentacles are just growing and growing within our own society, and our society's falling apart because of it. This mass migration thing that they have cooked up in their lab, and that's why they were supporting the Democrat Party for decades. Shit, my hair's whatever. Who cares? For decades. That is just a pressure cooker, and it's gonna, because when you look at the Roman Empire, perfect example. When the Roman Empire, a long time ago, did the same thing, immigrated peoples of the north, the east, south of them, the Middle East, and imported all these people constantly over the decades, and gave them rights and everything, and gave them whatever they needed. Over time, their population and their way of living was the way it was, and that broke down the Roman civilization. It used to be a rock, a cornerstone, but after the mass migrations and allowing these people to come in and put their way of life before the country's way of life, the country that they were living in, they didn't assimilate. They instead broke down into smaller factions within the nation, and then they broke apart from the country. And that is what we're seeing in big cities. Right now, big cities are like the big hive colonies of all this. And we are the ones being invaded by the outside world. We're the ones that have let them in over the years of these politicians that we have elected, but you can't get them out without a duly elected process. So you can't go and shoot somebody like they did Charlie Kirk, unfortunately. You can't do that. You have to wait the time. And that has created a problem because, and I'm not saying, please do not construe that as, oh, let's go shoot politicians now. No, please don't. Let's not get violent. But I am saying that there is a time factor. And over time, you let a politician in, and it takes about 2 to 4 years or whatever amount of time it is for another election to happen. In the same time that they have now elected to have him in, and at the same time they have immigrants pouring in over time, and they are getting legalized through the system. If they came in illegally or legally, doesn't matter. And they're going for visas, green cards, whatever you want to call them, everything like that. They're trying to get legalized into our system. That takes about, it takes a good amount of time, but I think it's like 6 years or something like that for it to take effect. And I could be wrong about the 6 years, but I'm just saying it takes like 2 politicians in a row. That's about what, 8 years of being in office. That is enough to legalize over 100,000. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of immigrants that, you know, who knows their loyalty. You know, they're not getting vetted. None of them are. They're here to work, or they're here to for some reason. We don't know. They just want to be here, I guess. And that has caused hundreds of problems. And now here we are, paying the consequences for those actions, because it benefits the Jews. It benefits them to be in a multicultural society when they're not in Israel, but when they're in Israel, it benefits them to close it off. And so they have these two opposing factions within their own community, and that has led to the denigration of the West and has led to the denigration of our country, of our society, of our way of life. And we were born, we never had a chance to no due process for us. This is the cards we were given. We never got to really live in the country that we were promised, and that's not right. And so we all need to speak up. Use your words, not your guns. Please don't. We're not the bad guys, we're the good guys. And let's make a change. All right, thank you guys for watching. If you guys care to watch more, we'll just keep continuing this on. Subscribe, comment down below about whatever. Let me know how you guys feel. Thanks for watching, and peace.